We're back at the NFL report. It's considered the league's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide. It recognizes NFL players who've exhibited excellence on the field and whose passion to impact lives extends beyond the game. The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award will be announced at NFL Honors Thursday, February 8th on CBS. To learn about all of this year's nominees, visit NFL.com/Man of the Year. But you won't have to go there when we're talking about the Buccaneers nominee, because we have got Antoine Winfield Jr. with us right now, JP. Antoine, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on this nomination.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we saw you in the promo there pushing the shopping cart. We know you do stuff throughout the community, taking a lot of kids in the foster care system, whether you're going and getting mani-pedis, you're taking them to Topgolf, you're taking them shopping sprees. We're doing all of these different things. But specifically, what stands out to me is, with a lot of these youth, they're not starting at the same spot as a lot of other kids are starting. And you want to make sure you get them to start this path of life at the exact same spot so many other kids get a chance to, right?
Yes, 100%. A lot of these kids in the foster care system, they don't have all that support that, one might have. And so my goal was just, hang around the kids, build a relationship with the kids, and let them know that they're not by themselves out here. They got support in myself.
Antoine, how'd you get involved with foster kids?
Yeah, so I ended up went to a gala or a fundraising event, and I introduced to these people that work at a heart gallery, and they help foster kids get adopted. And then I remember talking to them. I'm like, I should do something with you guys. So I told them just to bring a group of foster kids out. I took them to Topgolf. This is really where I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to hang out with these kids and show them, that there's more to life than, their current situation.
I love it. You got the Iron Man mask on right there, Antoine. I love that. What's the best thing you've taken kids to, and what's maybe something you haven't done yet that maybe is kind of kicking around in that brain that you'd like to go and have some experiences with some of these kids with?
The best thing, I would say, I took the kids to a trampoline park, and I thought that was pretty fun. To have a house with a kid. But something that I plan to do, I don't know. I'm still working on some other things to do with the kids, but I'm not even sure yet.
Okay, so you took them to a trampoline park. We know you guys have clauses in your contracts where you can't skydive and do things like that. Did you put yourself at any type of risk when you're on there with all these kids?
I most definitely did. But I made sure I was safe.
I also look at Antoine, that you're on the Bucs. So you're on the Bucs social justice board. That's another aspect of what you do. I'm curious with what is it exactly that all of you guys are working on, trying to accomplish with that board, because I find it fascinating.
Yeah. So it's pretty much, we have like a mentorship program where we meet up with, different groups of kids, and they come to the facility, and we just do different events around. Like one thing, we went with like different like police around the city, and they kind of explain like how their jobs and how they work and things like that. So it's really just bridging the gap between, just the community.
Antoine, let's talk a little bit of football right now, because the Buccaneers are right there atop a very tight NFC South. What do you guys need to do to continue winning ball games like you did last week against Atlanta to clinch that playoff berth?
Yeah, we just got to continue winning. And, I feel like a big thing coming up with these last few weeks is takeaways. I know specifically takeaways on our part defensively, and just ultimately scoring the ball and just feeding off of each other. So I feel like we just got to play complementary football these last few weeks, and that's just been the goal.
Okay, let's talk takeaways and you specifically, because I love that you're on here, Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, but we also got to get those Pro Bowl votes up. And you're one of the best safeties in football. Look at this. 97 tackles, Steve, 4 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, 11 PBUs. We're doing it everything on that side of the ball. What I'm curious about is, you're a really good blitzer from the secondary. What does it take to be dynamic getting after the quarterback from the secondary? Do you have to have a good poker face? What do you have to do, Anton?
It's tough because I get ID'd a lot, so they know I'm coming when I'm blitzing. So it's really a matter of whoever's trying to block me, because they're gonna send somebody to me. They're not gonna let me just run free anymore. And so it's really just about setting them up. I might give them a fake inside, jump outside, and just playing with it throughout the game and giving them different looks.
So, Antoine, James and I were talking before the show, like it's how crazy, like he just mentioned, how your name isn't on the tip of everybody's tongue when it comes to great players in this league. But also your wide receiver, Mike Evans. When we hear about the great wide receivers, for whatever reasons, he seems to get kind of played to the left a little bit. We know he's a future, probably first ballot Hall of Famer. What can you tell us about him, his greatness, and why he is so successful week after week doing what he does?
Man, his consistency. I mean, you can see it with the numbers, but that's
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, what was it, 10 years in a row, 1,000 yards? Like, that's insane. So, but it's just been his, and he's a great player and will be in the Hall of Fame one day.
He is tremendous in the red zone, but you guys as a defense have been really good in the red zone of late. We know you have to do that down the stretch here. What makes a really good red zone defense in your mind?
I would say just understanding the concepts that you're going to be attacked with, and then also just practicing.
Okay.
We practice well, and especially when it comes to the red zone, we know that we got to take care of business and keep the offense out of the end.
You talk about practicing well, understanding the concepts. Well, defensively, that comes from your head coach, Todd Bowles. What kind of coach is he? Because we know you talk about consistency. Your defense, for the most part, has been very consistent since he's been there as the DC and the HC.
Yeah, Coach Bowles, he's definitely probably the smartest coach that I know, especially on the defensive side of the field. I go up there and meet with him, and he, breaks down the, film with me, and I've really just been leaning on him because he's the best to really do it. And so just really leaning on him and just understanding the different concepts is what helped me, make the plays that I'm making, especially with the defense that we have.
You've been making these plays since your rookie year. And I remember being down there. For some reason, the NFL ships me down there and follows you guys throughout all of training camp, and Brady's down there. And you guys go all the way and win a Super Bowl title. What do you gather from that locker room, from that team, your rookie season, about what you need to have, maybe certain aspects as a room to be successful in the postseason and make a Super Bowl run? What did you learn?
Yeah, I had so many great players around me, and just seeing them work every single day, like their mentality towards like coming in and taking care of business was the biggest thing for me coming in, especially early on. And it's kind of something that I catered to my game. So it's like when you're in here, you're working. When you're practicing, you're working. You can't just go through a practice and be calm and not make plays. You got to go in there and work like it's a game. And so that's pretty much the biggest thing that I picked up from those older guys when I first got to the league.
Well, Antoine, hey,
awesome.
Continued success to you and to the Buccaneers. But, man, what you are doing off the field to help enhance lives means everything, and we appreciate you taking the time and joining us here on the NFL Report.
Yes, of course. I appreciate it, y'all.